what you're looking at is what a huge, like 80%, 90% possibly, of what public lands and a lot of like private lands that are undeveloped, like you see here. And what you're seeing here is maybe about 5 species. Okay, you have junipers, you have sage, you have one variety of grass, and then you have this other weird plant that I don't know what it is. But that's it. And that's pretty standard. Okay? Now compare this with this. Where you're looking at right now, there is about 5 to 7 different kinds of just grasses. Just grasses. That doesn't include the flowers, the yarrow, and the weeds. So, this is what we need right here. Bad. Good. This is grass growing weather. Does this look like a freaking desert to you? What the heck? This is so not a desert. Look at all this rain. It's just pouring like crazy. It's like the perfect weather that you'd expect in like a place that like is really good at growing grass. Like, oh, I don't know, maybe grasslands? Huh. Yeah, grasslands. As you can see, the ants do massive damage. They're not indigenous. They're kind of taking advantage of the situation of the degraded landscape. Boy, they do so much damage that part of any restoration project has to include the ant elimination.
So here's an interesting plant. I'm not quite sure what it is. This is the only example I have on the property. It seems to be going to flower pretty soon, which might help with its identification. There's the yarrow, looking very healthy. It's starting to really get a seed, flower. Here's a different variety. The fronds are a lot larger on this one. Interesting to see what color it's going to be. Oh, there's some little buttercups, I think, maybe? Maybe wrong. Some little purple flowers on a purple bush. Those are quite plentiful. These are looking very healthy this year. There's been so much rain. Here's another example of the difference between just doing nothing versus the inputs that I've been doing. Getting rid of the juniper, getting rid of the sage, disturbing the soil, and getting the grass to come back. Really quite amazing. This is springtime, absolutely no color on the right, the left, green, yellow. There's a yarrow flowering. All these different kinds of grasses right next to each other, just doing amazing. Going to seed, there's so much seed right now. It's just incredible. It's probably like 95%, 90% of the grass is going to seed right now, which is just amazing. I have to imagine a lot of what's going on has to do with pollination. So when the landscape's degraded, there's no pollens for the grasses to come back. So that's why it's taking longer than just like an immediate response to get this stuff to come back because the pollens just simply aren't there. But I think after this season, I'm going to see just exponential growth. It's like there's so many seeds that are going to drop. And then next year, those are all going to just blossom, and it's going to be amazing. There's just so much seed right now. It's really quite mind-blowing. And the healthiness of the grass, I mean, it's just lush. A lot of it's new grass, so it's, pretty young, it's like a year old, so it's just not that big yet, but just the how healthy the grass looks. Now by doing this, getting rid of the junipers, getting rid of the sage, getting the grass, the yarrow, the flowers to come back, there is so many benefits to doing this. This is all animal fodder now, okay? Which means that when grass grows and an animal eats it, you're sequestering carbon massively. So we get these areas where you see all this vacant dirt, and you see this eventually over the course of a few years, this will be a solid grass mat, super healthy, able to sequester not only carbon, but methane as well. A healthy grass mat will sequester the methane from the animals that are living on it. Another huge benefit to doing this is just go ask any firefighter if they want to fight a juniper sage fire or a grass fire. The difference is night and day. The grass fires just simply don't get that hot. They don't get that high. They don't let off as much carbon monoxide and dioxide because a lot of what's going up is steam. Because mostly grass is water. So there's a lot of steam. So it looks like there's a lot of smoke, but a lot of that steam. Easy to control grass fires. And grass fires are actually kind of important. If you do not have fire, that's one of the reasons why these landscapes are so degraded, is because there's no fire. They completely stop the fire. And the other big reason is they killed off the herd animals that used to maintain the stuff. And then they put cows in behind fences that didn't have any predator pressure. So the cows would just wander around, eating all the grasses and all the most delectable stuff, just kind of walking around, destroying it. What came back up in its place? Sage, juniper, bald ground. Okay? This needs to be addressed. This could be a much bigger nightmare in the future if we don't tackle it now. We need to get the junipers out. We need to harvest them. We need to chip down the sage. We need to replant. As we're doing all this, we can go back with seeds and accelerate. I didn't see this. If we accelerate this with seeds, it'd be so fast to repair the ground. So this is what needs to happen. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and peace.